On to the next question. It's from Daisetsu-bushido writes, "Hello Mustayaki. I once heard a saying that when you spend 10,000 hours doing something, you'll become a master in it. Do you think that the age of a mangaka, when she's deciding to become one, is somehow affecting how good he or she can become when it comes to drawing? I mean that people sometimes hear something like, 'You're too old for this.' Or do you think that it doesn't matter what age a certain person is and it's important to just spend all those hours practicing without worrying how old you are? Best wishes and good luck with your jobs and manga." What's your take on this, Mario?
Actually, I think that it doesn't really matter. If you want something, go for it. I mean, it doesn't really matter how old you are, as long as you want to do something and you're willing to put in effort into it. Don't worry about others, what others say. I mean, I know from experience, since when I was, I think in primary school, a lot of the kids were, you know, into sports and stuff, and I was into games and writing, and everyone else was just, why would you write it? That's silly stuff. But I don't know, I liked it, and I didn't care what other people say. So I think the best advice I could give is just listen to yourself. If you want it, if you're willing to put in the effort, go for it. Don't worry about what other people say.
Yeah, exactly. I'm over 30 years. I'm way past 30, and well, I still draw manga, and I don't let those things affect me at all. But there are some things that I worry about, and that's being a certain age that you, well, don't really connect anymore to the audience you are writing or drawing for. For example, like I'm 30, the whole generation is different now. It's difficult to connect sometimes to understand how it works. And to see how teenagers react or go to social media these days, and what their mindset is and what their problems are and how they resolve things, that's a completely different state from what I was when I was a teenager. It's totally different. So I can see that there can be some difficulties over there. So someone who's 60 or 70 years old can relate a little bit less with someone who is 16. So if you're writing for that demographic, it will be a little bit challenging. And I don't think it's always true when it comes to how much time you spend writing or drawing to become a master in it. Because you can spend 10,000 hours, but it doesn't really say that you're improving really much. It can also mean that you've maybe took a million hours or maybe just a couple of hours, and you're far more improved than somebody who would do 10,000 hours in their work. I think it's really important to what I talked about in my Prep Yourself video is know your strength, be critical on yourself, know what your strengths and weaknesses are, to understand yourself better, and then you can get better, because it's not always about doing the miles. Of course, doing the miles, a lot of writing, a lot of drawing really helps, but it comes to the fact when you really grow, when you really bring it to the next level, has to do with understanding yourself, understanding your limits, understanding where you can benefit from. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, you definitely need to know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses. And I think a simple rule for this would be to have a plan, to know what you need to work on, and then work on it. So, like you said, it doesn't matter if you spend 10,000 hours drawing just hands. Maybe you'll get good at hands, but then the rest of the anatomy you'll be better, or anything really. So you really need to have a plan and know what to work on, and realize that if you're not good enough at something, you have to realize then be ready to work on that thing, instead of constantly working on the same thing and not getting overall improvement. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I also take some examples from how I did it, how I get it to a next level, so to speak. is I didn't draw for quite a while. It was between, I think, my 20th year or when I was 18 or something till I was 27 or 26. I stopped drawing. And what really helped me improve was just, like I answered to the previous question, was by studying life, by understanding how things work, how just watching how things come together, how things connect, how things are created. And just by observing some of these things, the knowledge was in me, and later on the face, I could use it. So that's, well, I compare it a little bit like going to the gym, right? It's when you train a lot, it's good, you get pumped up, but you also need those days when you need rest, so everything can grow. And sometimes I compare that, so sometimes rest can help you with that also. If you like this video, then super smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to our How to BAM YouTube channel. It's a great way for staying updated for the latest shows and videos. If you also have a question about making manga that you want to be answered on our show, then send in your email to info@howtobam.com. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter for some great giveaways and prizes.